Good morning, everyone. It is October 30th, Monday, October 30th, 2017. And wow, what a weekend for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has just exploded. It hit an all-time high of 6,300 this weekend. It's never reached that high before. Bitcoin charts are blowing up. Even in despite the news. The news is saying Bitcoin is being questioned right now in the China markets. They're supposedly shutting down all the exchanges, but we're seeing some rebounds from that and saying China may actually reverse that trend because of that, because of the mining, or because of the shutdowns in China. I was thinking that we would see a sell-off. In fact, China was recommending and saying, sell all your Bitcoins off by the 30th. And so I was anticipating a drop loss, and I think we did see that, but I think a rebound after that. So what's happening, I believe, is the markets across the world are picking up where China's selling selling all their coins out, and it's putting a lot of inventory out in the marketplaces. It's decreasing the price, and people were buying that up. I think that's why we saw hits of 5,700 last week. And but right now we're at 6127.39. So that's $6,127 is what a Bitcoin is worth right now in U.S. dollars, and consuming a lot of processing power. Now, if you don't know about the other coins that are out there, so we have proof of stake and proof of work coins, and a Bitcoin is a proof of work coin. Now, if you want to look at proof of stake coins, I highly recommend it. Some people think it's the next evolution of cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is thinking about, actually Ethereum is going to be putting that into their hard fork later on. So it's really cool to see that. It actually consumes less power, electricity, and so forth, and it puts the reinvestments back into the owners of the coin rather than necessarily the miners. So it's kind of a cool concept. Highly recommended it. D3 coin is an example of a proof of stake coin that is producing really high yields right now. But let's go into the news here really quickly. Bitcoin versus U.S. dollar. The volatility of the U.S. dollar is actually pretty consistent, and the Bitcoin is actually rising and decreasing. So there's kind of it's kind of creating an interesting dynamic there. And how Bitcoin cash wallets price and everything you need to know. So there's a lot of information going out there today. Vietnam follows China and bans Bitcoin. Here's why banks and governments hate the coin. Vietnam, they're seeing a drop in their country. So we're starting to see countries jump on board, especially like Russia, China, Vietnam, some of these are like the BRIC nations, right? Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And so it's just a matter of time before maybe we see India and Brazil take this up. But I don't think Brazil will, actually. I think Brazil's are pretty strong on the Bitcoin at this point. So the nation states are kind of attacking Bitcoin, but it's not actually stopping the price from going down at all. Or not really stopping the prices from going up. It's actually the prices are just continue to climb. And where's the drawback is the big question. And Coinbase thinks that there's going to be a drawback to about 5,500. Some people think we'll see a rush to 6,500 per Bitcoin. It's just on a bull run, guys. It's just on a bull run. And based on the charting here in Google Trends, I'm seeing actually an increase in buy Bitcoin. So we're actually seeing more people running to the buy Bitcoin than sell Bitcoin. Sell BTC versus buy BTC. We're seeing an increase. So typically, traders will start to keyword this stuff in here, but they're less on the buy side of it than they do on the sell side. So this is just your average day. Consumers typically search for the sell Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. They're not really into the trading as much. So this kind of gives us two different indicators, and I would say that the indicator for the general masses is saying buy Bitcoin, and we're seeing a lot of big fund managers starting to buy into Bitcoin. I read today that there's like 108 fund managers, investment managers that are dealing strictly with cryptocurrencies. So we're starting to see those markets really open up into the crypto world, and that's really cool to see. We're also seeing the Federal Reserve talking about the blockchain, so that helps with Bitcoin as well. governments of Iran is preparing to adopt Bitcoin for use inside the country. Like people are, some of the countries are really starting to see the possibility of Bitcoin being able to bring them out of maybe some of their financial woes because of technology issues and their current financial systems or whatever that might be. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies offers an easy mode of exchange in comparison, especially with volatility in some countries and inflation in some countries are just ridiculous. So we're seeing a mass adoption of cryptocurrencies around the world, not so much as in the U.S. in comparison. And so that's what's keeping a lot of Americans and a lot of people in the U.S. and the Western countries out of cryptocurrencies. Big mistake. We're seeing literally a flop in innovation, and a lot of the innovation is coming from other countries around the world, and so we're starting to see the first world countries actually falling behind in this trend. And could it be a reversal in rich countries around the world? Successful countries are the ones that are adopting the Bitcoin cryptocurrency mindset moving forward, and so this is really motivating me because I look around and I see people in the Western world all around me, and they're not as interested in Bitcoin. They don't really even care in cryptocurrencies, but I see my developers in Africa or the Middle East or in India or even in Eastern Asia and in the Philippines, and they're wanting to take Bitcoin. They would prefer that over PayPal. They prefer that over U.S. Dollars, and rightly so, because they can exchange it with their friends and their developers much easier. So it's especially with the technology world and the social media and all these connections through the internet space. Bitcoin is and cryptocurrencies are going to be the future. Now the question is will companies like PayPal and banks be able to keep up? And at this point, they're so far behind. I don't think so. So in this sector now, they have the money, they have the assets, they have the capabilities to quickly move over and start migrating or start to bring on cryptocurrencies or blockchain into their technology stack. But I think it's going to be very much like the race for flight. There was a governor. No, I'm sorry. There's a general in the Navy. I believe it was the Navy. Yeah, and he was supposed to head up the flight for the Army. Actually, I think it was the Army. Let's see here. Let's look it up. Whoops. Alright. I'm not able to find this right now, but it's not that big of a deal. But you'll be able to see that. But anyways, long story short is he had a ton of money. He was really trying to win because of pure ego, and he was using big machines like the Navy was using to be in the waters, and it wasn't working. But you have these Wright brothers who are using these very, very light planes like a bird, and they had passion, they had excitement about this, and they were motivated from internal drivers rather than external drivers of fame and fortune and all that other stuff. And so I see the same trend happening in the cryptocurrency world. Is people are passionate about it, they're going to be moving this forward, they're going to be pushing this forward, and it's just a matter of time before the masses really start to really pick up a technology adoption curve. And if you look at the Bitcoin, let's look at some images here. If you look at the Bitcoin jumps here, innovation 1, early adopters, early majority, and let's look at the jump over time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think we're in the early majority phase. I really do. I used to think we're in the early adopters phase, but after this last peak, I'm pretty convinced we're in the early majority phase. And so this is where this is the last pump before, like, of the major majority. There's still going to be more volume of people coming in, but I believe we're gonna see a big jump, and I think it's going to see an increase by we'll see $40,000 per Bitcoin. I think before next year. Not 2018, but before this time next year. So it'd be really cool to see that. And if you're interested in Bitcoin or you have questions about Bitcoin, highly take advantage of all the information that's on the internet and explore Bitcoin, learn more about Bitcoin, ask friends and family. If you want a team around you helping and supporting you and protecting you of what's going to happen in the markets, definitely take a chance and go over to ICOin.support. That's right, ICOin.support. And we'll be able to help you out, and we have a community of people who love Bitcoin, love cryptocurrencies, and build cool technology like what you see here, and we'd love to share that with you. So go ahead and head on over there, and yeah, do you have a banana? Oh wow, we have a banana. And go over there and bring a banana and have a bite to eat, and me and her are gonna go back to trading cryptos. So have a great day and blessings.